What do you get when you mix Devil May Cry and Quake? You get this. So just like the other games I reviewed so far, this game doesn't have a story. This game tells you that mankind is dead, blood is fuel, hell is full, and that's all you get, which is par for the course with these type of games. So as usual, we're just gonna jump straight into the gameplay. This game is very fast-paced and stylized, more than any other shooter that I've played. Your basic movements consist of dash, air to ground slam, and a slide. You can bounce off walls. You can also double jump. That's pretty much it for movement. With that being said, where the style comes in is with the weapons and how you use them in motion. The first weapon you acquire is a pistol, and it has 4 upgrades, but only 2 are available right now because this game is in early access. One being marksman, where you throw a coin up and you shoot it and it goes flying, hitting the enemy. The other is piercer, which is a charge shot that can go through multiple enemies. The pistol and its upgrades are a perfect tool for the beginning to help you get familiar with the movement and the pace of the game, because it only gets crazier from here. So after a few levels, you get the shotgun, but it's not just a shotgun, it doubles as a grenade launcher as well. It also has 4 upgrades, but only 2 are available right now. One of the upgrades is core eject, where you dump the core of the shotgun and it explodes on impact. The other is pump charge, where you can pump the shotgun up to 3 or 4 times. The more you pump it, the worse the accuracy gets, but the stronger it is. But don't pump it too much or it'll explode. These 2 upgrades are really good at dealing with large amounts of enemies that bombard you in these levels. Next is the nail gun. This weapon is the ultimate setup weapon. Let me explain. It has 4 upgrades as well, just like the others. Only 2 are available. The first one is a tractor, where you shoot out these magnetic rods that can attach to walls and enemies. So when you shoot your nails in the direction of the rods, it sticks to them. After some time, the rods explode, sending the nails flying everywhere. Overheat is the other upgrade, and basically it dumps the whole clip. The last weapon is the railgun, and this weapon is dope. This weapon surprisingly has the most upgrades compared to the other weapons. So it has 4 upgrades, and 3 of them are available, and there are also some heavy hitters. The first one shoots out this powerful electric beam. The second one shoots out this huge beam that explodes on impact, like those giant faces you'll be fighting in the game. The third one is a drill that you shoot, and it drills in the enemy and does damage over time. Guns are not your only weapons though. Your fists are powerful as well. Your fist has 4 upgrades. Only 3 are available. The first one and main one being feedback, which allows you to parry enemies' attacks. The second one is knuckle blaster, which you hold and it creates a powerful knockback / explosion. The third is whiplash, which is basically a grappling hook or the scorpion spear. Light enemies, you pull towards you. Heavy enemies, you go towards them. Now with weapons being covered, let's talk about the level design real quick. These levels are A1. Because as you get further in the game, the more they open. That means different approaches, which means more replay value. This means that the levels are perfectly balanced between corridors, open levels, and platforming. You're going to need it because of all the enemies and different variations of them. In particular, these flamethrower guys. These dudes are ridiculous. They're extremely fast. The range on them is ridiculous. So you're going to need to run and jump and bounce off everything consistently. That's only if you're playing on a harder difficulty, because the lower you go, the easier it is. Honestly, I recommend the higher difficulty though, because I honestly can say that this game is the Dark Souls of these retro shooters kinda. Now, before you start rolling your eyes, the reason why I said that is because this game gives me that same feeling. One of the big appeals of FromSoft games is that they are extremely difficult, but when you overcome that boss or area, the amount of joy that you get is unmatched. This game is the same. There are going to be a lot of areas that are difficult, along with boss fights. Like V2 is an example. V2 is extremely hard. It moves exactly like the player, maybe even better than the player, depending on how good you are. When you finally defeat V2, though, the amount of joy you get is unmatched, just like a Soulsborne game. It makes you want to strive to get better, to where this game becomes nothing but a breeze. And when a game makes me feel that way, it gets my highest respect. Speaking of boss battles, the boss battles in this game are hella fun and memorable. V2 is a great boss and all, but the most fun I had with a boss that truly encapsulates everything great about this game is Sisyphon Insurrectionist. This boss is so fucking dope because you have to jump from platform to platform while the boss is jumping around and slamming to the ground. It can also stretch out and grab you. It can shoot you. I mean, it is just pure awesomeness. And the sand is like lava during this level, which adds an extra layer to the boss battle. Pair all that up with the fact that the blood of your fallen enemies regenerates your health, so you have to be fairly close to them. Once again, it gives you this unmatched joy when you finally defeat a boss or area after all the trials and tribulations. The soundtrack amplifies this chaos and makes it a complete package because the soundtrack makes a simple interaction feel epic. The art style is the perfect cherry on top because of the simplistic design of the enemies and environments and color palette. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my super realistic looking games like God of War Ragnarok and such. But here recently, this kind of stuff has been grabbing my attention. With this game having a huge emphasis on style and stylish kills, you get a rank at the end of each level. To help you get good and get those high rankings in those levels, there are 2 additional modes that help you out with that. The first one being Cyber Grid, where you go up against the enemies in waves, including bosses. You earn points and money as well, so that's a bonus. The second one is Sandbox, which is exactly what it's called. So if you're good at that kind of stuff, you could probably make some pretty cool stuff. Ultrakill is a game that I didn't know exactly what to expect when I first bought it. All I know is that I can't wait until this game is finished and get to play through the whole thing in its entirety. It's available on Steam and it goes on sale quite often. So you can pick it up for cheap or even at full price if you feel like it might be worth it after this review.